So if you're a full-time student and you're looking for a side hustle to launch in 2025, there are many, many options, right? And what I recommend is what I call a product-based side hustle. This is a side hustle where you're selling some kind of product. Because if you're a full-time student, you need to spend a lot of time studying. So you've got very limited time. It helps if you're selling some kind of product that scales independent of your time. So these are five such ideas that I think a student should be able to pursue and hopefully find some success with. Now you need to work very, very hard. Like just because it's a product-based side hustle doesn't mean it's easy. Okay, there's a lot of work involved, especially if you've never done business before. So let's go with the five. So the very first one is drop shipping earphones and accessories. So there's a lot of people that are into music, like I'm one of them. So what you could do is you could launch an e-commerce store that drop ships audio equipment. Audio equipment is never goes out of style, man. It really never goes out of style. From the days of the iPod, when the iPod really became big back in the day, all the way to things like Dre Beats and such types of things. You kind of see that audio equipment, audio accessories for people that love music, that's always kind of gonna be in style. There's always gonna be a bunch of people looking to buy audio equipment to listen to their music. So you could be launching your own dropshipping store selling exactly to that category of people. The second side hustle is print on demand. You could do a print on demand e-commerce business where you're selling t-shirts. Now there's all kinds of subcultures. Like there's a rap subculture that's all about rap music, and you could actually go into that and kind of print t-shirts depicting MCs. Now you don't have to put actual rappers on there like Rick Ross and um, Ace Hood and these people because of copyright issues. But you could just put like an anonymous. You could just put an anonymous guy with a mic right in front of a crowd at a show doing his thing. So you could create all kinds of digital art that depicts like the rap subculture, and you're gonna find a lot of the hip hop aficionados are gonna be like, yeah, this is the thing, man. This guy is bringing us the T-shirts that remind us of the beats, and so we gotta buy. And before you know it, you're in business. Now the third option is you could launch a course, right? You have some expertise around something. So let's say, for example, that you did really well in calculus, right? Or you've done really well in advanced calculus and advanced differential equations and topics like that. Like you could launch a little 3-hour tutorial that walks mathematics majors through the trickiest parts of calculus, and you sell that thing for like $50 or a couple $100. You're gonna find there's a lot of people around the world that would find that kind of thing very, very helpful. Or maybe you're not a math major, maybe you're doing something very different, or maybe you're still like a high school kid, right? Like you're studying for your AP history exam. You could launch a little guide compiling all the notes that have helped you prepare for the AP history exam, and that's what you sell. That's your information product. So selling your knowledge in one way or another. Everybody's got knowledge. Um, Now you might say, well, what about a 7-year-old kid? What kind of knowledge could you sell? You could probably sell a little cheat sheet of the best hacks when playing whatever latest video game that the kids are into these days. you know, uh, there's always some knowledge that everybody's got. Like even the guy that's like a drug addiction, he's kind of wasting his life away, but he's got some kind of knowledge that's valuable somewhere. Like everybody's got some kind of knowledge in them to even be a human being and be able to be effective in society, whether that's in your job or in school or in your family or wherever you go. You got knowledge. You're a walking depository of knowledge. So that knowledge is always valuable to somebody else who doesn't have it, because humans are always moving from one stage to another. Like before you got into school, you were not in school. So now when you move into school, there's a whole bunch of new culture, new rules, new things that you need to learn. The quicker you learn them, the faster you can actually progress. Like if you're trying to make, for example, let's say the basketball team, it would be helpful to you if you actually got like a 1 hour tutorial from the guy that got to be a high school MVP, and he's actually giving you all the tools and all the information you need to be able to make the basketball team, and how exactly you need to practice to be a top recruit and to actually be able to make it on that team and do well. So that's why knowledge is always so valuable. Now the next side hustle is this one really only applies if you're a comp sci major. You could launch a software as a service, for example, that helps veterans with PTSD. So that could be a software as a service that you could launch. Now you do need some knowledge about the field, like what is PTSD, how does it work, what are some solutions, and maybe you create a software that delivers some of those solutions, or maybe it makes therapy available through the app. Um, you kind of have to do a lot of research. That's not the only software as a service idea. There's a lot of software as a service that you could launch, right? That's just one of them. And the fifth one, you could always launch an Etsy store. Like you could launch an Etsy store that's selling, something creative, because people on Etsy like creative stuff. So maybe you could be launching something to do with house decoration. You could be launching something to do with creative journals. You got these journals that are very nicely designed, something artsy like that. So there you go. Those are 5 side hustles that students can do in 2025, and these are product-based side hustles. Now, if you need some more ideas, some more help with your product-based side hustle, you can check out some of my free resources. The links will be in the description.